Matrix Introduction by Paul Kelly. Published and copyright Oxford University Press, 2008. CD2. Unit 6, Tape Script 6.1. A Real Geography Lesson.
Tilly Smith, a young schoolgirl from Surrey in England, is very enthusiastic about her geography classes. But on the 26th of December 2004, Tilly discovered that geography is more than just an interesting school subject. Tilly was sitting on the beach in Phuket, Thailand, when the sea suddenly disappeared. What was happening? While big waves were forming, Tilly and the tourists watched. At first they weren't afraid, but Tilly remembered her geography lessons and she became anxious. She wanted to leave the beach quickly. At school, Tilly studied earthquakes. She recognized what was happening, but the other tourists weren't moving from the beach. She was very tense. Tilly told her mother about tectonic plates and an earthquake under the sea. Tilly became very upset. In the end, she was desperate to leave the beach with her family. Tilly's father told the other tourists about the danger, while Tilly was running to a safe place with her mother and sister. Everybody was running to safety when the first of 3 tsunami waves came up the beach. When Tilly and the others looked down, the waves were destroying the small tourist centre. After the tsunami, a lot of tourists were grateful for Tilly's interest in geography. Her parents were glad she listened in class. The tsunami was a terrible accident for thousands and thousands of people. But, thanks to Tilly, it didn't kill anybody on My Cow Beach.
Unit 6, Pronunciation. Tape Script 6.2.
Anxious. Grateful.
Unit 6, Pronunciation. Tape Script 6.3.
Anxious. Grateful. Afraid. Upset. Desperate. Relaxed. Ashamed. Enthusiastic.
Unit 6, Pronunciation. Tape Script 6.4. 1.
Are you afraid of big animals?
2.
Do you feel anxious about your exams?
3.
What do you do to feel relaxed?
4.
Are you enthusiastic about football?
Unit 6, Tape Script 6.5.
Young Dave McSheffrey was skiing in Colorado, USA, when he got lost. Where was he going? He didn't know, but it was important to go down the mountain before night came. Firstly, he skied through the woods until the snow finished. Then he found a river. While he was walking along the river, he saw some bears. Were they looking for a boy to eat? No, they were fishing, and they were eating salmon. The bears didn't see him, so Dave continued along the river. He was tired, and he couldn't walk fast. Dave was walking slowly when he saw a village on the other side of the river, and he found a boat. He was going across the river in the boat when somebody saw him. He was safe.
Unit 6, Tape Script 6.6.
2 weeks before her holiday, Tilly Smith's class was studying earthquakes and volcanoes when her geography teacher, Mr. Kearney, told them that earthquakes and volcanoes can cause tsunamis. Tilly was very interested in tsunamis. While Mr. Kearney was teaching the class about tsunamis, he explained that after the sea disappears, the next 5 to 10 minutes are very important for people to survive. Tilly is now back at school in Surrey, England, after her frightening experience in Thailand. She told the geography class how she saw the sea disappear while she was sitting on the beach. Thanks to her geography teacher, she knew what to do.
Unit 6, Tape Script 6.7.
Now here's Professor Rigg with the answers to our extreme weather quiz.
Good evening. Well, here is the answer to the first question. Tsunamis are faster than planes, and they can travel at 800 kilometers an hour. Now, the answer to question 2. Britain is the country where you can see a lot of tornadoes. And that takes us to the answer to question 3. Of course, tornadoes happen when there is a storm. And question 4 is about storms. During a storm, thunder comes after lightning. In fact, thunder is made by lightning. Now, the answer to question 5 and hurricanes. Hurricanes need water, and they always start in oceans, especially near the equator. And finally, the answer to our last question, number 6. It rains most in Cherrapunji in India, where there is 1,270 centimetres of rain every year. Compare that with the 25 centimetres they get in Cairo.
Well, thanks, Professor. And the winner of...
Unit 6, Tape Script 6.8.
What type of extreme weather happens where you live?
We sometimes have droughts.
What do you do when there is a drought?
Well, we don't make fires. Fires are very dangerous when there's a drought.
Unit 6, Culture Focus. Tape Script 6.9.
Tornado Alley.
I discovered tornadoes while I was studying English in Woodward, a town in Oklahoma in the USA. I was staying with the Tinneman family, and everything was perfect until my last week. Gary and I were eating a snack in the garden when suddenly the sky went black. It was a tornado. Most tornadoes in the USA happen in Tornado Alley, where Oklahoma is. The alley is west of the Appalachian Mountains and goes from Texas in the south to South Dakota in the north. We went into a room under the house. Gary was telling me about tornadoes when suddenly there was an explosion upstairs. I thought it was a bomb, but it was the tornado. Gary thought it was an F5 tornado, the strongest type. An F5 tornado moves at 500 kilometres an hour and can throw cars as far as 100 metres. It also destroys houses. When we came out, we saw that the Tinneman's house didn't have a roof or any windows. I was upset for the Tinnemans, but Gary said they were lucky. His friends' houses were completely destroyed.
Unit 7, Tape Script 7.1.
This year is going to be different. A.
My uncle and aunt are giving my cousin and me a fantastic holiday this year. 2 weeks at a soccer camp in London. Hannah and I are football crazy, so it's the perfect holiday. But we're not going to play football all day. We're going to study English in the mornings And we're going to visit all the famous places in London, like Buckingham Palace. We can't wait.
B.
This year I'm not behaving well at home and I'm not studying hard at school. My parents think I'm lazy and moody. They're worried, so they're sending me to a brat camp in the mountains this summer. I'm spending 6 weeks there. I'm going to walk 10 kilometres every day with some other teenagers like me. I'm also going to sleep in a tent. I'm not going to see my friends, and I'm not going to enjoy it. It's going to be awful.
C.
This summer we're going to stay at home. But it isn't going to be boring because my sister Julia is getting married. Lots of friends and family are coming. My grandparents are going to travel all the way from Sydney in Australia. Julia is going to wear a beautiful white dress. We're going to have a special meal with all the family and friends. I'm so excited.
Unit 7, Tape Script 7.2.
What are you going to do for your end-of-year school trip? Next Wednesday, we're going to visit a theme park. The theme park has 4 different areas. There is the Wild West, Polynesia, Future World, and the Land of the Pharaohs. In these areas, there are different shows. But my class isn't going to see them. What are we going to do? Well, we love the rides, and we're going to try all of them. My favourite is the roller coaster. But there is one ride I'm not going to get on. The Ferris wheel. I'm frightened of that one. But I'm not going to tell the others.
Unit 7, Tape Script 7.3.
What are you doing this summer, Dale?
I'm going to a summer camp.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, it's going to be brilliant. There are lots of water activities. I'm going to go swimming and sailing.
Sailing? That's cool.
And there are day trips to the mountains to ride mountain bikes. In the evening, they make campfires and have dinner around the fire.
You're really lucky.
There are some bad things too. All the day trips are on foot, and I hate walking. You have to get up at 7 a.m. and have a shower before breakfast. And some days you do the washing up and make all the beds.
I do that at home now.
Well, why don't you come? The camp isn't starting until next month. You just need some sports kit.
Yes. Let's talk to my mum and dad. It's a great idea.
Unit 7, Tape Script 7.4.
What are you going to do next summer?
I'm going to study English in San Francisco.
That's great. Who are you going with?
I'm going with my cousins. What are you going to do?
Well, I'm going to...
Unit 7, Culture Focus. Tape Script 7.5.
Holidays American style. The 4th of July.
The 4th of July is the coolest holiday of the year. In the morning, we always go downtown to watch the parade, and this year my school is walking in it. Best of all, my brother is carrying the flag. My parents are going to be really proud of him. Then, in the afternoon, we always have a picnic. This year, we're going to have a big school picnic by the Potomac River. All the moms, dads, and grandparents are coming too. Finally, in the evening, we always watch a really fantastic firework display. Why do we celebrate the 4th of July? It's the day in 1776 when we became independent from the British, a very important date for us.
Thanksgiving Day.
In the USA, on the 4th Thursday of every November, we celebrate Thanksgiving Day with our families. We now live in Washington,
but we're going to drive back to Chicago to be with our grandparents. Most Americans travel to spend this day at home with their families. The most important part of the day is the big family dinner, and the most popular meal is turkey. What are we celebrating? Well, traditionally, it's a day to give thanks for all the food collected on the farms for the winter. Today, we have all the food we need, but Thanksgiving Day is the most popular family day in the USA.
Unit 8, Tape Script 8.1.
Be green. Help your planet.
Did you know you can help protect the planet? Don't waste the things you don't want by throwing them away. Local green companies can make those old posters and magazines into recycled paper, and they can transform your old mobile phone into a new one. You and your family can help too. Collect those T-shirts and jeans that are too small for you and give them to a charity. Of course, most people need a break at school or work, but if you drink from plastic bottles, you won't help the planet. It looks harmless, but plastic is a material that is difficult to recycle. And if you eat a snack, make sure it comes in just one bag or box. A lot of modern food products have lots of packaging, and it's a waste. Why not drink fruit juice from a glass bottle and make a sandwich? Glass is easy to recycle, and a homemade sandwich is better for you and for the environment. When you go shopping, think before you buy. Are your trainers really old? Do you really need a new MP3 player? Remember, we don't need to use the world's resources to look cool. If you only buy the things that are really necessary, you'll help save the planet and your money. What else can you do? Don't have a bath. Have a shower. If you have a shower, you'll use less water. When you have a bath, you use approximately 90 litres of water, but only 30 litres when you have a shower. And don't leave the tap on when you brush your teeth. Water is one of our most important natural resources, and you can help save it. Will our planet survive? Well, if we all help, it will have a better chance. Why don't you start saving the planet at home this evening?
Unit 8, Pronunciation. Tape Script 8.2.
A. Stay. Bag. Waste.
B.
Bank. Have. Supermarket.
C.
Snack. Father. Glass.
D.
Damage. Packaging. Make.
E.
Charity. All. Water. Stay. Bag. Waste. Bank. Have. Supermarket. Snack. Father. Glass. Damage. Packaging. Make. Charity. All. Water.
Unit 8, Tape Script 8.3.
And now the answers to our green quiz. There is 1 point for each question. Question 1. The answer is yes. Plastic is a very difficult material to recycle. Question 2. The answer is false, of course. Glass bottles are much better for the environment than plastic bottles. Question 3. If your answer was throw away, then you're not very green and you don't get a point. The green answer is recycle. Question 4. You get a point if you answered no, because a lot of packaging is bad for the environment. Finally, question 5. You get a point if you answered yes. We can all help protect the planet. Now, how many points have you got? If you've got 4 points or more, you're really green and you're interested in the environment. If you've got 2 or 3 points, then you know we need to protect our environment, but you sometimes prefer the easy life. Finally, if you've only got 0 or 1 point, then please remember, the planet is our home. We need your help too.
Unit 8, Tape Script 8.4.
About 25,000 square kilometres of the Amazon rainforest disappear every year. If this continues, the world will have problems. What problems will the world have? Scientists say there will be fewer animals and plants. 30% of all plants and animals live in the rainforest. We use a lot of the plants to make new medicines, so we won't have new medicines if we destroy the plants. If the rainforest becomes smaller, it won't rain a lot in some parts of Brazil, and there will be floods in other places. Will the entire rainforest disappear? It won't disappear tomorrow, but we must protect it. The rainforest is a very special place on our planet.
Unit 8, Tape Script 8.5.
What can we do? We don't want a new road and we don't need one.
I agree. If they build a new road, they'll destroy the park. Where will we hang out?
Yes, and all the mums and dads go to the park with their young children. Where will they go if there isn't a park?
Right. We're going to have a meeting. What? Who with? First, with the school students that go to the park. Then, with the mums and dads. We can make some posters so that the mums and dads know about it.
Great idea. And I'm going to send a letter to the school. The school doesn't want the new road because it'll be dangerous for the children. The school will help us.
Good. But we also need to tell the town hall. Shall we send a letter?
No, I know. We must send a petition. All the parents and school students can sign the petition and we can ask our friends and families to sign it too.
Brilliant!
Unit 8, Tape Script 8.6.
Are you green? What do you and your family do to help the environment?
Yes, we're quite green. We always recycle bottles.
Do you do anything else?
I wear a wristband, and last week my brother went on a demonstration.
Unit 8, Culture Focus. Tape Script 8.7. 1. Two. 3. 4. 5. Unit 8. Culture Focus. Tape script 8.8.
On safari.
My name's Utete and I live in Otjinene. Otjinene is a village in the Kalahari Desert in eastern Namibia. We moved to northern Namibia 6 years ago because my dad started a new job at the Etosha National Park. My dad is a guide for the tourists. When I'm not at school, I sometimes go on safari with him. I love it. He knows everything about the animals and their environment, and I learn a lot from him. My dad always knows where the animals are. He recognises the different sounds they make. When he looks at the ground, he can say which animals are near and how many there are. The plants and trees also show my dad which animals are near us, because he knows which plants the animals like eating. The tourists are always astonished. Thanks to going on safari with my dad, I think I'll study zoology in the future. We need people to learn how to protect our animals and our natural resources. Animals like lions, elephants and rhinoceros are important in our culture. If we lose these animals, we'll lose our traditions too. The animals are also important because tourists come to see them. But there are people that come to kill the animals. If we can't stop them, we won't have any safaris in the future, and the world will be a sadder place.
Unit 9. Tape script 9.1.
How I've changed.
Lots of things have changed in my life in recent years. Firstly, I've changed school. It was difficult at first, but now I enjoy it. My classmates are great. Well, there is one boy I don't like, because he is sometimes a bully to a friend of ours, but we protect her. Another difference in the last 2 or 3 years has been in my schoolwork. There's more of it. I've got lots of new subjects and more textbooks. I've also got 2 exercise books for each subject. I've got a locker at school, but I take lots of books home. I don't need a rucksack. I need a supermarket trolley. I've changed the way I look too. I still like wearing jeans and t-shirts, but now I also like wearing different clothes when I go out with my friends. I've started wearing skirts and lots of jewellery. My mum helps me get ready before I go out. We have good fun. I've also changed my hairstyle. It's longer. Now I also do different things in my spare time. I like spending more time with my friends. We meet in town on Saturdays, and we spend our pocket money at the shops or the cinema. I also spend more time in my bedroom. I've put up some new posters, but my mum says my bedroom is the only thing that hasn't changed. It has always been very untidy.
Unit 9. Tape script 9.2.
Have your parents ever painted your bedroom? Have you asked them if you can paint it? They'll be happy if you do the work. I've painted my room in Arsenal's colours. My parents say they've never seen a red and white bedroom. I've also put up some Star Wars and Arsenal posters. I haven't painted the furniture, but I've put my desk next to the window. There's a computer on my desk, but I haven't got a TV. I've never watched TV in my room because it's against the rules at home. Well, do you want a cool bedroom? My sister hasn't painted hers before, but now she's going to do it. What are you waiting for?
Unit 9. Tape script 9.3.
Have you ever wanted to change your life and do something different? Well, that's what the Borton family have done. They visited 4 continents and they've explored 25 countries in the last 6 years, and they haven't finished. They've spent 5 years on an 11-metre boat. Mum, Sue, is a teacher, and she has taught her children, Jane and Mike, everything they know. They've never been to school. We've made lots of friends around the world, says Mike. They haven't stayed in one place for more than 2 months, and now they're sailing to New Zealand.
Unit 9, Tape Script 9.4.
Excuse me. We're from Brinklow Secondary School and we're doing a project on the town. Can you tell us what changes you've seen here?
Oh, I've seen lots of changes. Firstly, Brinklow wasn't a town when I was a girl. It was a village.
Really? Was it very different?
Oh, yes. You see that awful car park? That was a park before. We went there every evening to play. We walked along the footpath, but that's a horrible road now. And that factory! There were some beautiful cottages there 20 years ago.
Have there been any good changes?
Oh, yes. They've built the new hospital next to the farm. And then there's the new library and the museum. I like going there.
OK. Thank you for your help. Bye.
Goodbye, dear.
Unit 9, Tape Script 9.5.
What changes have happened in our town?
Well, the old cinema has become a big multiplex cinema.
Yes, and now there's a big sports centre. I think it's great.
But there have been some bad changes too.
Yes, I don't like the...
Unit 9, Culture Focus. Tape Script 9.6.
Moving home.
I'm from Tokyo, but now we live in San Francisco, California. A lot of my family live here, so we came to San Francisco to be closer to them. Of course, I know that the family is important, but at first it was very difficult. I didn't like leaving all my friends at my old school in Tokyo. Now, after a year in 9th grade, I've made lots of new friends here at Palmer's Park High School, San Francisco. But I've had some surprises. On my first day at school, there were security men at the school doors. They were looking for guns. That was very frightening. Another surprise was the school timetable. We begin classes at 8 a.m. and finish at 3:15 p.m. Lunch is from midday until 1 p.m. If you want to eat fast food, an American school is the place for you. You can eat hamburgers, pizza, and hot dogs every day. There are also lots of machines in the school that sell chocolate, sweets, and cola. All the students do sports after school, and they need to. Now, I'm more positive about San Francisco. I've learned a lot of English. I've got 2 cultures now, and that's great. I'm also going to learn to drive soon. You can learn to drive when you're 15 in California. All the 11th grade students come to school in their cars. But the best thing about the USA is the people, because they are really friendly.
End of term test 1. You are going to hear an interview with a girl called Natasha. Listen and choose the right answer.
Welcome to the programme, Natasha.
Thank you.
You are in the television soap called Screen School, and you play the part of a 12-year-old called Layla. What kind of a person is Layla?
She's fun. She loves meeting her friends and going to parties.
Do you like being in screen school?
Yes, it's great. It's hard work sometimes. This week I'm working every day, but it's wonderful. I'm working with some brilliant actors and I'm learning a lot from them.
Do you watch a lot of television yourself?
I don't have a lot of free time because I have schoolwork and acting, but I watch some soaps and comedy programmes and I listen to music. I love singing.
Do you do any sport?
No, I'm not sporty at all. I can swim, but I can't play anything like basketball or volleyball. Luckily, Layla doesn't do any sport, so I'm okay.
End of term test 2. You are going to hear an interview with a boy called Andrew Taylor. What did he do last year? Choose the right answer.
Hello, Andrew, and thank you for coming on the programme.
Hello.
Last year, you collected a lot of money for a children's hospital in Thailand. How much did you collect?
£2,000.
That's fantastic. Why did you collect money for this hospital?
Well, last summer we were on holiday in Thailand and I got ill and went to a children's hospital. I was there for 3 weeks. When I came home, I wanted to collect money for this hospital because they needed a lot of things for the children.
What did they need?
They needed things like games and books.
And how did you collect the £2,000?
Well, I organised different things at my school. Some of my classmates helped me. One day, people at school made some food and sold it, and on another day we sold books and computer games. And we had a competition to see who was wearing the worst clothes. People gave money and then they could vote.
Who won that?
Our maths teacher. He wore a terrible tracksuit.
When did you send the money to the hospital?
2 weeks ago. They were very surprised to get it and very grateful.
End of year test 1. You are going to hear a conversation between Joe and Rachel. Listen and choose the right answer.
What are you doing in the holidays, Joe?
I'm going to stay with my aunt and uncle on their farm in Wales.
That's great. When are you going?
Monday. I'm going with my sister. My mum is taking us and my uncle will bring us back.
Is it a nice farm?
Yes. It's near hills and woods. And there's a nice beach about 3 miles away.
Will you go swimming?
I don't know. I think it will be cold, so probably not.
What will you do?
Oh, nothing much. I usually help my uncle with the animals and I go for walks. Last summer, I climbed a big mountain, so I want to do that again. We talk to my cousins and play computer games with them. Actually, it's my cousin's birthday on Friday, so I think there'll be a little party for her.
Well, I've got to go. Have a good time and see you after the holidays.
End of year test 2. You are going to hear someone talking about an organisation that helps children. Listen and answer the question.
We started our organisation because we wanted to help children in orphanages in Europe. Many of these children have parents, but their parents don't have any money for their children. They take their children to orphanages and leave them there. The children live there in awful conditions. Nobody gives them love, and they don't learn very much because adults don't spend time with them. We work in these countries in different ways. We help very poor people who don't have any work. We help them find work. In this way, they can have enough money for their children. We teach them new skills or teach them how to read and write. If they can read and write, they can find better jobs. We also find new families for children in the orphanages. These families are always in the same country as the children. We don't send children to other countries. The children are often unhappy with their new families at first, but they usually become happier and they start to love their new parents.